Welcome and thank you for joining me. This is just a really quick little video. I may just post it to Facebook. One of the things that I wanted to talk about real quick is if you are able to sew, if you know how to sew, in your area, like first responders need masks. The pattern I'm using, let me just grab. This is the large pattern right here. And the way I'm doing this is I am tracing around. Let me see if I can back up a little bit. So I'm just tracing around onto my flour sack fabric. But on the flour sack, I fold this down. That much of it gets folded down. So if you're able to visualize as a person who can sew, as you can see, this is the point at the top of the nose, and then you just kind of draw a little curve like this. This goes under your chin, right there. This goes under your eye, and this is along the side of your face. So this is what we have. This is the point that goes at the top of the nose, under the eye, beside your ear, and under your chin. You're going to cut two. So you'll be cutting out two pieces of fabric that look like this. Finish this edge right here with a roll and whip or a really tight zigzag on both sides. Do the same thing on your lining fabric, whichever type of fabric that you choose to use for lining. Like I said, sorry for all the whipping around. I'm just using very clean flour sack towels. I bought a whole bunch of them on Amazon a long time ago, and they're turning out to be an awesome find for this. I'm going to have to replace that with some linen or some muslin. I think I'm going to use muslin. We need something that our first responders, doctors, caregivers, veterinarians, nurses, whoever is wearing them, we need to have something that they can breathe through. Flannel is not a good option. Upholstery fabric, while it may seem like a good option because of its, heavy duty, strong, heavy hand, it's not something that they can breathe through, and often is treated with a lot of chemicals that we don't want them breathing through. So the first thing I did is wash it with hot water. My fabric in just raw fabric form got all washed in steaming hot water with just detergent, no chemicals. I think I've said that like 100 times, but we need to remember not to put chemicals in this. Dry it in the dryer without any chemicals, no dryer sheet, no fabric softener, no nothing, just dry them. And you end up with your fabric looking like that. And then cut, make, do, and then wash them again. So in this form, all of the masks that I'm making will be washed again in very hot water, no chemicals, dried, no chemicals, and then I'm going to wear gloves to take them out of the dryer, put them in a sealable bag, and then take them to the whoever wants them and whoever needs them first. I think Providence here in Everett has requested them, and there's a couple other places that also want them. But again, going back to those who can sew. So this is what you need to do. You're going to roll and whip across the top edge, roll and whip across this one, fold this one under twice and stitch it. This is the opening for the N95 filter if they have one, and this whole thing is open all the way across so that they can slip something in there. This is the outer edge. You're creating a casing right here along this edge for your elastic. I'm using 7.5 inches of elastic, and then let me get this where you can see it. I'm just butting up the edges, or just a little bit of an overlap, and then zigzagging on both ends of that. So, as somebody who can sew, if this this, if all of this makes sense to you, you might be able to, you know, come up with a pattern of some sort. Basically all I can tell you is measure from the top part of your nose, right, you know, across where the eyes are, the bridge of your nose, all the way down the side of your face to where your ear is. Add your seam allowances. You're going to cut 2. You will be creating this curve that goes down the front of your face and underneath your chin, and also there add seam allowance. My measurements are from the bridge of my nose to my ear. If I remember correctly, let me catch that real quick. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. So I'm adding a half of an inch. So I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides, and on that seam that runs down the middle right here. So this is, for me, from here to here is 4 inches plus that 1/2 inch. And then from the bridge of your nose to under your chin for me is 5 inches. And I'm adding a 1/2 inch for the seam allowance for that seam right there and that seam right there that goes across when you stitch these two together. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try to write them out. I've been busy sewing these, and I haven't really had a chance to make a clear, you know, pattern. If you need a pattern, I kind of redid the pattern that I found at, let's see, where was that? Sorry, I'm trying to get to my sketchbook here. There it is, craftpassion.com. So that's it right there, www.craftpassion.com. It's non-sponsored. They're not paying me to say any of this stuff. It's just that's where I found the original pattern, and then I created my own idea from that. So that's probably the best information that I can give you. And again, you know, just make sure you're washing your fabric. I'm using cotton. Absolutely no polyester whatsoever except in the elastic. My thread is 100% cotton. As you're sewing, after about 3 or 4 masks, make sure that you clean out the bobbin case of your sewing machine. It will get very dusty from the thread and the fabric fibers. You'll get a lot of lint. Don't forget, our sewing machines are domestic sewing machines. They are not meant for an industrial type use like this. So take care of it, because I worry that, you know, if you just drive it really hard, you're not going to be able to take it to the sewing machine shop to be repaired. So take care of it, oil it, you know, clean it out, give it a break. I appreciate everybody jumping on board with this. If you're having trouble finding elastic, my daughter is using ribbon. I think under the circumstances, that's probably the second best. You can use any type of elastic. So if you're not able to find this 1/4 inch elastic, you know, just round corded elastic would work. You know, if you've got like a supply somewhere. I happen to find my ancient supply right here, and it is 70 yards. I got it on Amazon a long time ago. It's 70 yards of 1/4 inch elastic. I saw that it was listed, and it was not listed as out of stock on their website a couple days ago. I'm hoping and praying they still have some. You might be able to find it, you know, from an unconventional place, like maybe Etsy or something. But anyway, thanks for all the questions and all the help. And if you need additional information and additional help, I am here for you. Drop me a line. You know, I'm going to go ahead and say my normal Facebook page. Share it if you need to. I don't care. This is way more important. So anyway, thanks again, and I'm going to go ahead and get this rolling. Thank you. Bye.